Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky. In the last episode, we returned from the future with the help of Celebi, and as you can see, that actually added another little square on our little... I don't know how to call it, like just a list of sections we completed of the game really, so that's kind of ending our future section, thus we get a little square for it. Even though it's not necessarily a boss, it's more of just getting on to the next part. So, Chapter 16. A New Dawn. We all wake up in the present. This is... What? Trico, where? Isn't this where I met you, Trico? It's like that beach. So that means... Could it be? No, it is! We're... in the past. We're back in our world. Well, it's not the past, it's the present. Yes! We made it, Trico. Hey, Grovyle. Look around. We made it home. Back to our world. So we did it? We made it through. Back to this world? Yep. This is where I met Trico. Let me see. It would be around here. Trico was out cold right here. So that's what happened. Our trip through time sent me into the eastern forest. And Trico and I both reached your world far away from each other. Oh, that's right. I'm really confused by a lot of things, like this whole concept of time travel. Will you please explain it to us? But this really isn't the place to talk, so... let's go to the Wigglytuff's Guild and talk there. Before we went to the future, we trained here and roomed there. It will be a perfect place. Okay, let's go to Wigglytuff's Guild. Hold on. Will I be well received if I go to the guild? After all, I'm a wanted outlaw in this world. If I went to your guild, won't everyone be shocked? Don't you think they'd try to capture me? Come to think of it, you're right. What should we do? Oh, I know. There's a good place. But we need to go through Treasure Town. That shouldn't be a problem if we lie low and sneak through. Lead the way. Okay, it's this way. I don't know how you could really sneak through Treasure Town because it's literally just one path that everyone's looking at. Message from the Exploration Team Federation. Special episode Here Comes Team Charm has been unlocked. Oh my god, that's right. We still have Sunfloor as one too. I keep forgetting about it. It's just we're right in the middle of like the bulk of the story right now. And I would really rather not cut off time in the middle of like major story arcs to go and do that. Maybe once we have a little bit of downtime and we're not like plagued by story, but I'm not sure how long that'll be at this point. This cliff is known as Sharpedo Bluff. Sharpedo Bluff? Yep. I think it's called that because the cliff is shaped like a Pokemon named Sharpedo. As far as I can tell, nothing seems out of the ordinary. It's down here. I lived here long before I joined the guild. Go on, after you. I see. This is a hollow chamber in the faces of the cliff. Woo, no one's been here to mess it up. Goes to show how little interest there is in this place. Maybe better if we stay here for a while. Agreed. And so we have a new little hideaway. But Trico, I never expected you to be that very same Trico. Grovyle, can you tell us more about that? Yes, Trico and I, we were jointly investigating the planet's paralysis. A Pokemon and a human, paired together? Yeah, and Trico had, or has, a special ability like no other. We relied on that special ability to investigate the planet's paralysis. It played a vital part. By special ability, you mean the Dimensional Scream, don't you? Exactly. But the Dimensional Scream has a drawback. The Dimensional Scream requires the presence of the trusted Pokemon partner. Without that partner, the ability cannot be triggered. A trusted partner? That's why we work together. The Dimensional Scream is set off by triggers tied to places where the time gears are hidden. We needed to find out where the time gears were in the past. We needed the dimensional scream to accomplish that. Wait a second. You said the dimensional scream needs a trusted partner nearby. But the dimensional scream was triggered not long after we met. Your point? Doesn't that show you how much you two trusted each other from the start? When you put it like that, I mean, it's a bit embarrassing. In addition, Trico developed amnesia. Upon meeting you, Evie, your partner had someone to turn to. Perhaps Trico grew to trust you very quickly because of that. Oh, there's another thing I don't understand. Does the dimensional scream go off in response to only time gears? Right. The opposite is also true. The dimensional scream is not triggered but in places that aren't connected to the time gears. Really? That's not how I remember it. Say, Trico, do you remember that time it went off when you're drowsy? And during our first exploration? And there were other times too. We went to places that seemed to do nothing with the time gear. But even in places like that, the dimensional scream went off sometimes, didn't it? Are you sure? But that never happened in the future. The dimensional scream was never triggered by places that had no time to the time gears whatsoever. Well, if that's true, I don't know why it would work differently here. Perhaps things are just different in this world. I mean, my personal theory is that time is running in this world, therefore the dimensional scream, being triggered by things having to do with time, probably can just go off anywhere. Perhaps the nature of the dimensional scream is altered in the past. So in the future, the dimensional scream doesn't work in places that have no connection to time gears? Oh, that explains it. Maybe that's why that time, when we were in the future... Yeah, it didn't go off. Once again, I think it's a great, plot point, but I was much more happy that it just wasn't a win-all situation. We'll just use the dimensional scream and immediately solve all of our problems. It was getting a bit annoying with how many times it would come up just to solve whatever we needed to do. And it kind of feels like that safety net's always there, so you never really feel any threat from any bad plot, you know? You never feel cornered because you always have the dimensional scream to show you what to do. It's just odd. And being in the future just kind of relinquishes it. So it feels a lot more dire, I guess. Maybe I couldn't envision anything the time we were in the future, because we were in a place that isn't tied to any time gears. Maybe that's why my dimensional scream failed to work. Maybe Grovile's right about the future and the past being different. Or different enough to make my dimensional scream ability work differently. Anyway, like I was saying, we were investigating the planet's paralysis. We used the dimensional scream ability to identify the locations of time gears in your world while we were in the future. That's it. Here. A time gear is here. I see. Place the drought stone in Groudon's heart. That lifts the fog. Very well done. Good job, partner. After identifying the locations where the time gears would be in the past, we took the passage of time. That brought us to our world in your future to this world. However, whoa, are you okay? No, don't let go. Just a little longer. Come on, hang on. No, I can't. Hold on. That's a little weird there, because that's the only time Trico actually talks in dialogue. You know, as a human at least, but still. We encountered turbulence while we were traveling through time. Thus, Trico and I became separated. For some reason, Trico got amnesia and was turned into a Pokemon. I can only guess it had something to do with our accident while traveling in time. I came from the future. And not just that, I came with the mission of preventing the planet's paralysis. I hate that phrase, by the way. They say it so many times, preventing the planet's paralysis. It just sounds like it's, I don't know, the title of an episode or something. I don't know, it seems so outlandish. It doesn't feel real somehow. So Trico, you may not remember any of this, but you were my closest friend. I worried about you when we were separated. I'm glad to see you're safe. Your appearance may have changed, and though you've lost your memory, you're still you. And none of this alters the fact that you remain my friend. Oh, Trico, I'm glad to see you again. Now, We just have to decide on our course of action. Like I've told you before, I'm going to collect the time gears again. What are you going to do? I'm a little worried about how time stops in the region where its time gear is removed. But you're sure it'll only be a temporary? That's right. As soon as the time gears are set in place at Temporal Tower, time will be restored to its normal state everywhere. Well then, we'll go too. We'll go with you, Grovyle. Stealing a time gear will cause trouble for Pokemon that live in that area, but we have to prevent the planet's paralysis. Okay then, we'll go together, but the hour is late. We're also exhausted from all the running we've done. We should rest up tonight. We'll leave in the morning. And there you go. We have a game plan. We're going to steal all the time gears ourselves now. This is the third save point it's given us before any gameplay. Like 3 save points just for a cutscene. That's crazy. To be fair, it is really long. Eevee isn't here. Maybe outside? It's also a little weird seeing Grovyle being so normal after seeing him as an enemy for the entire game almost. And it being swapped so quickly compared to most other games where like you get warmed up to the enemies and they swap sides or something like that. What's the matter? Can't sleep? Yep, just thinking. Thinking about Dusknoir? No, that's not it. Sure, finding out we were being fooled really hurt. But hearing your story earlier, Grovyle, it made me realize what Dusknoir said in the future was really true. And it made me understand that Trico really did come from the future. I was going over things like that in my head. Oh, look, Grovyle. Sunlight. It's sunrise. Don't get to see that too many times in the future. Oh, this awesome music again. There's a reason it's in the end slate. It's pretty, isn't it? Yes. Maybe it's because we were in the future for so long. But I didn't think about that a sunrise could ever feel so renewing. The sun rises, then it sets. We take that for granted, and it's only natural. But things we take for granted, they're not real. They're the most essential things, and they're precious. All I'd ever known was the future's world of darkness. Upon coming to this world and seeing the sun for the first time, it was staggering. Seeing it, it strengthened my resolve to turn history away from a future of darkness. There's one thing I wanted to ask of you, Eevee. It's about that time in the future, when we were confronted by Dialga. Frankly, we were in a no-win situation. There was no hope. Yeah, we were there. Once again, this game has a problem with showing flashbacks. Like, actually. I guess since it's, like, based on time, it kind of makes sense, but, I don't recall if Red and Blue had the same kind of flashbacks this game had. But when all seemed lost, you refused to give up. Even I had given up. What compelled you? How did you manage to stay so strong? Well, I wonder too. I really don't know. But maybe it was because Trico stood by me. Trico? Have a look at this. This. What could it be? It's an odd pattern inscribed on it. I've never seen anything like it. This pattern's new to me. This is my relic fragment. It's my personal treasure. It's my dream to one day solve the mystery behind this fragment. But I was scared so easily. I didn't even have the courage to apply as an apprentice at the guild. That was when I met Trico. Trico... But, can y'all stop? Like, we get it. We were there. We played the game. Yes, Trico was always there to cheer me up, and... it all gave me courage. With Trico, I felt like I could overcome any challenge. That's how I came to feel over time. Maybe that's why I was able to keep going without giving up. Alright, I think I understand what you're saying. Yes, Trico has a special quality that makes others feel that way. The same way that I care for Trico as a friend. You, Eevee, also feel the same way about Trico. Trico is lucky. to be blessed with a friend like you. Well, it's morning. We should be leaving soon. Yep. That was a much needed scene on Groval's character, because up to this point we've only talked to him in high tense situations where either we're against him or we're fighting against something. Alright, it's agreed that we will collect all of the time gears. First, we have to decide which time gear we should target. Let's check the Wonder Map. From here, the underground lake seems to be the closest. How about Tree Shroud Forest? That was where I got my first time gear the last time. Where's that? Here. It's a little far from here, but there's no one like Yuxi guarding that time gear. Oh great! If we have to fight someone over a time gear, that would attract attention. But that won't be a problem here, right? Exactly. That's settled. That's where we'll go. We're off to Tree Shroud Forest. And so, we immediately get there. A lot of color. It's really nice to see all this color after being in the future for so long. This is it. This is the entrance to Tree Shroud Forest. Oh? Is something wrong, Groval? The atmosphere somehow feels different than last time. No, I must be imagining it. We'll go in when we're ready. Alright. Oh, this music is so good here. I love it. Anyway, in the next episode, we're going to take on Tree Shroud Forest. I'm sorry this episode didn't really have any gameplay, but it's a very, very long cutscene, and that's even with the last episode being more of the cutscene. So I'll see you all then, and goodbye.